downforce in the front of that car.
Ryan Hunter-Reay leaves his pit box.
Big smoky burnout here by Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Dan Weldon comes in. Weldon's had a good run.
He's hoping for a quicker stop. That's definitely what hurt him earlier in just track position. Remember, we had that when we kind of panned back on our onboard. We looked at that guy right there on the left rear, and he just probably got it hooked up that time.
Not this time. Good stop. 6.5 seconds for
excellent stop.
Weldon. Vitor Meira shown as the leader of the race. There he is. He's off in pit sequence.
It really is amazing. I mean, we know Vitor's changed 2 front noses with contact, and here he is. Yes, he's still got to cycle through with regards to pit stops, but the fact that he's even leaving this race with two nose changes.
And look how much Dixon had gained on pit road, and I would not be surprised, Robbie, if he did exactly what you predicted. He had an extremely fast pit stop. I bet he didn't take all the fuel, and now he's right where he wants to be, ahead of Briscoe.
Here's the replay of what Jan was talking about.
So they both stop at the same time, and we're pretty sure that Will Power took all of the fuel. So if you see Scott Dixon leave before,
well, you know what?
A second or so.
I mean, that fueler pulled out pretty quick, but the fueler still waited for like a half a second, even though the tires were on.
And you can see him blow by Will Power. So it was that was fantastic pit work by the crew. Here's Marco
trying to get by TK's right rear tire laid out and doesn't put in rubber down.
Well, Ed Carpenter had to come back in because they didn't get any fuel in the car. He's coming, has pushed his visor up. He's very frustrated. They keep trying to go. It's not working. You can see them trying to fire up.
You know, what did we say earlier? I said, you know, he's fast on the racetrack, but the biggest challenge when you're just not regularly in the series is things can go wrong. Whoa!
Man.
That was power.
I thought he was headed right for the wall.
Yeah. But again, so with Ed, when you're not regularly making those stops, that's where it's tough on pit road.
Tough break for Ed Carpenter. Well, now the pit stops are over, and we once again turn our attention to the racetrack here at Chicagoland.
The Peak Antifreeze.
With just a little more than 50 laps to go in our race here at Chicagoland Speedway, the top 10 cars are running within a second of each other. The leader is Dan Weldon. Second place is Ryan Hunter-Reay, and we're on board with him. Looking back to Dixon, Power, Andretti, Kanaan, Briscoe, Ray Hall, Castro Neves, and Franchitti.
And these are all real positions. This is not pit strategy. They all stopped at relatively the same time, within a lap or two. So they're not off sequence. These guys have made their way to the front after great pit work. And now Ryan Briscoe is back there, not leading on low downforce, struggling.
Let's still size up Briscoe. Ooh, look at Power.
Yeah.
Do you think Clive Howell's on the radio saying, hey, we're not racing those guys for the points?
No,
he's going by.
He gave up on that one.
Oh, look at this.
Wow.
Andretti looks high.
And look at there's Briscoe trying that high side. Look at it, looked like he drifted up a little bit more there, Jan, just tagging that whole idea with less downforce on that car. What's it going to do to him?
And that's exactly what we talked about the open of the show. The low downforce is the way to get to the front and stay there. But if you're back, as you can see, as many. Oh, look out!
Hello.
Will Power is as aggressive as I have seen him in a long time.
And you know, Jan, I got to think that no matter what Clive Howell tells him and the response that Will Power had, it's hanging over row 3 wide.
Oh,
and a Will Power sandwich that he just wants to get to the front and get the monkey off his back about ovals.
Well, he's doing that to get to the front, Jack. That's a fact. Wow. And so you're Ryan Hunter-Reay. You're just there, that Greek blanket. You see these guys 3 wide. You just got to hang back and say, this is going to give somewhere. Here we go.
You're thinking, okay, all right. Hang on.
That's Brian Briscoe on the right.
Yeah.
Whoa!
To the inside is
So
Kanaan.
you see Kanaan get the wiggle there?
Yeah.
Down low. Kanaan just had a big wiggle, had to get out of the throttle, so he went back. Dixon went by. Elio went by. TK, that is.
You called that, Robbie. That was the time to be riding on board with Ryan Hunter-Reay. That gives you an idea of the kind of concentration you need to have in this kind of field.
Well, because he just thought he was the one car sitting there. All of a sudden, we saw somebody on the outside, somebody on the inside. But when you have just that green flag racing side by side around here, you can do it for 20 laps. But after that, you need a break somewhere in there. You got to have a couple laps to catch your breath.
Power is trying to pinch. He's trying to keep Weldon down. He's trying to keep him down lower, and that is close running.
And the thought process, Jan, of what you're saying, keeping him down low, is if he keeps him down on that bottom and Weldon has to put in a little extra steering and that car washes up, he's going to have to get out of the throttle.
And he's cutting it close.
Andretti making it 3 wide again. Wow.
You know what? Dan Weldon may be fighting valiantly, but when you look at the overtakes, guys, he's only got 3 left. And we've got a lot of laps left to go. Coming up on the 18 car, Micheduno, and that could really split this one up a little bit, couldn't it?
She's running 19th, by the way. Is 2 laps down. We have 17 cars on the lead lap.
There comes Power.
There's just no breathing in that whole pack of 7, 8 cars right there.
Well, this is going to be interesting here when they come up on Milka.
Oh, she's going high.
Well, middle high, middle low.
Ooh!
Weldon forced below the white line, but
I think from the official standpoint, they say
yeah.
when you go down there, if you're
if
you
you're
had
forced.
had an avoidance,
Yeah, that's
we'll,
okay.
We'll be okay with that.
And Will Power has the lead. But Andretti is right there to his right. Weldon, who led, now finds himself battling for 3rd with Ryan Hunter-Reay. Back with more at Chicagoland in a moment. Will Power leads Marco Andretti here at Chicagoland. The record prior to tonight for most lead changes here at this racetrack, 23 in 2004. We have had 24 tonight. The record has been set for number of lead changes, and we've got almost 40 laps to go. There are the first 2. Will Power and Marco Andretti. Here comes 3 and 4. Dan Weldon on the low side and Ryan Hunter-Reay on the outside. They almost bang wheels coming off of turn number 4. Right behind them, Tony Kanaan, who's had a very stout race tonight, on board with him. We had to lift there a little bit.
Tony Kanaan's been running high a lot of the evening and taking advantage now. Ryan Briscoe.
And Briscoe, of course, has led the most laps here tonight, so he gets around Tony Kanaan. Here comes the 9 car of Scott Dixon, and right behind him, or to his side, is Dario Franchitti, his teammate, and right there also is Graham Rahal.
And we've seen Graham just always challenging, kind of towards the back of this pack. So he's got a fast race car. We just haven't seen him up in that top 4 group, but let's look for that before the night's out.
And Elio Castro Neves, of course, had that slow pit stop, now trying to make up ground.
Yeah, we haven't talked about him very much, but he is in the top 10 right now. Back in 11th.
Whoa! Look out!
Alex Lloyd, sideways, coming off turn number 4. The caution is out.
How about the timing of us just swooping back right on that? Just got loose coming off there. We all 3 just saw it.
I was about to
sequence.
say that Danica Patrick was running 11th, but I didn't get it out. Wow, second problem for Alex Lloyd tonight. Boy, that was a scary ride, wasn't it? It comes with 30 laps to go, so everybody will come in, and
it'll be their final pit stop.
That's right.
Well, what that's going to do, too, is going to keep that whole lead group, lead pack together. They're not going to be spread out on green stops, so it's just going to be everything at the end of this.
That's what we saw live. Alex Lloyd coming off corner number 4, slides to the inside of the racetrack. We are under caution here at Chicagoland Speedway on Versus. Because of an incident involving Alex Lloyd, Will Power is the leader.
And when they pit, they will only need 12.2 gallons of fuel to make it to the end. That's only 3.5 seconds of fuel, faster than it takes to change tires. Will someone take a chance and not take tires?
We heard Al Spire say earlier that that is a very likely situation here in the late going, given this green with less than 30 laps to go. Let's watch. They're changing tires on